Good morning and welcome to another edition of the Daily Fix. I am your usual host and presenter, Advocate Tulo Hoyani. This morning I want to revisit Judge Ratha's ruling in the Section 174 application brought before the Pretoria High Court by Advocate Khumalo. One of the things that I want to focus on in this morning is the reference by Judge Ratha to his treatment of the evidence. Judge Rata was at pains to indicate that in his determination of that application, he would look into the totality, and I want to repeat, the totality of that evidence. In other words, he would not, cherry pick, those were his words. He would not cherry pick the evidence. He would have to look at it holistically and then join the dots and see what sort of sense it makes to him. That was very commendable coming from Judge Rata. But the most startling development soon thereafter is that Judge Rata, looked at the evidence, what he called the evidence, that jumbled up, regurgitation of the evidence. You'll recall that he had no written judgment. Everything was just coming from off the cuff of his neck, and the evidence was jumbled up, and in certain instances, frankly, just made up because it did not form part of the record. But interestingly, in all his summation of the evidence, Judge Rata ignores or chose to simply look away from one crucial leg of the evidence. And that crucial leg of the evidence is the role that Kelly Khumalo is supposed to have played in this, what we are told, a hit. You will recall that this trial has mutated. From being a robbery gone wrong, it has now mutated into a hit. And from the evidence of the prosecution, it appears that this was a hit ordered by Kelly Khumalo. She was the mastermind behind it all. That is the evidence of Brigadier Gininda before the Pretoria High Court. And that is on record. So, in his analysis of the evidence, why then does Judge Rata elect to leave out this crucial piece of evidence? Because here we have the lead investigator telling us about how this thing is supposed to have unraveled. It might be disingenuous on the part of the prosecution and the lead investigator to have first of all told the court that this was a robbery gone wrong, and then to simply just, turn away from that, mutate the whole thing now into a hit. But let us stick with what we have. And what we have and what is on record before the Pretoria High Court is that this is now a hit. Now, in his treatment of the entirety of the evidence, Judge Rata makes no reference to Kelly Khumalo, in spite of the fact that Kelly Khumalo has been brought onto the record as the mastermind. And this by none other than Brigadier Gininda. And this version or this narrative that Kelly Khumalo is the mastermind, has never been disputed, at least as far as the prosecution goes. Where when Gininda brought up this, it was never contradicted by Baloyi, right? And the court seemed not to even hear this piece of evidence, because I don't recall any incident or any occasion where Judge Rata ever questioned where the mastermind is and why the mastermind has not been arrested. So it was also, disingenuous of Judge Rata Mokgatleng to say that he's dealing with the evidence holistically. In all fairness, he was cherry picking. He was doing exactly the thing that he said he would never do. He was cherry picking the evidence, because he cherry picks what he wants to cherry pick regarding Constable Zungu, and goes on and on and on and on to say how Zungu links up all the accused persons together in a common purpose. But one crucial leg of that common purpose is not there. Then what are we supposed to make of Judge Rata's assertion that he's taking a holistic view at the evidence, when he leaves out the most crucial person in that equation? And that crucial person in that equation is none other than Kelly Khumalo. So a lot is happening in the sense of MEYIWA trial, in spite of the fact that Judge Rata wanted to, give us that, sort of suggestion that he was taking a holistic view of the whole thing. He wasn't. He was simply cherry picking that which chooses him, that which he chooses to use to arrive at the decision that he arrived to dismiss that that 174 application. But be that as it may, we are here where we are now, and in the next episodes of the Daily Fix, what I want to bring to you for you is a deep and thorough analysis of each leg of the evidence in this trial. I'm indebted to one of my followers who has provided me with such a detailed analysis. Nothing could be better than that. So I'll be bringing that analysis. I will not attribute it to anybody because before I do that, I'll have to get his consent to do that. But I think what is more important is the analysis that he brings into the debate and the conversation for us to get a deeper understanding of what is going on here. So this is selective justice. This is what it is. My take is it is selective justice. It is just Rata just doing as he wants to, as he pleases. Because the question will always remain: where is Kelly Khumalo in all this? If we are dealing with this evidence holistically. So, having said that, let me thank you for watching this video. Let me thank you for all the subscriptions and the likes and the shares that I'm seeing, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.